From towering comic book legends to cinematic interpretations of the Man of Steel, Superman statues have delivered some of the most powerful and iconic collectible designs ever created. In this video, we're taking a look at several incredible Superman statues and busts that capture the strength, hope, and larger-than-life presence of DC's greatest hero. Let's get started. First up is the Superman the Movie Premium Format figure from Sideshow Collectibles, released in 2025. Inspired by Christopher Reeve's legendary portrayal of Superman, this statue captures the hopeful and heroic tone that defined the character on the big screen for an entire generation. The pose is calm and confident, with Superman standing tall as his cape flows dramatically behind him. Rather than emphasizing aggression or combat, the statue focuses on Superman's reassuring presence and iconic silhouette. The bright costume colors and classic S shield immediately reinforce the timeless cinematic design. The sculpted textures and realistic costume detailing help modernize the presentation, while still staying faithful to the film appearance. Combined with the natural cape movement and heroic stance, the entire piece feels like a tribute to the optimistic spirit of Superman's original movie era. This collectible stands out because it captures Superman less as a warrior and more as a symbol of hope, making it one of the more nostalgic and emotionally driven Superman statues in recent years. Next is the Superman DC Comics Trinity Legacy Replica 1.4 Scale Limited Edition statue from Iron Studios, released in 2025. This piece leans fully into classic comic book Superman, presenting the Man of Steel with a larger-than-life heroic presence. The statue features Superman in a strong, upright stance with his cape sweeping outward behind him. The broad chest, powerful physique, and sharp costume sculpting give the collectible a commanding appearance that immediately draws attention. The bright blue suit and vivid red cape create that unmistakable Superman visual identity. One of the strongest aspects of this statue is how clean and iconic the overall design feels. It doesn't rely heavily on environmental effects or extreme motion. Instead, it focuses on presenting Superman as the ultimate DC hero, calm, powerful, and completely confident. The scale and presentation give the piece a premium display presence while still maintaining a classic comic book aesthetic. It feels timeless, heroic, and instantly recognizable from every angle. Next up is the Superman Premium Format figure from Sideshow Collectibles, scheduled for release in 2026. This statue presents a more dynamic and modern interpretation of Superman, while still keeping the classic visual elements fans expect. The pose creates a real sense of movement, with Superman appearing as though he's just landed or preparing to launch into flight. His massive cape spreads outward behind him, becoming one of the defining visual features of the entire piece. The flowing fabric effect adds energy and scale from nearly every angle. The sculpted costume textures and detailed musculature help give the statue a cinematic realism while still staying rooted in comic book style. The bright emblem and clean color palette keep the focus firmly on Superman's iconic appearance. This release feels designed to capture Superman at his most larger-than-life, powerful, inspirational, and visually dominant. It's the kind of statue that immediately becomes the centerpiece of a Superman display. Now we move into a darker era of the character with the Superman Black Suit Prime Scale 1.3 statue from Iron Studios, released in 2025. Inspired by Superman's Black Suit storyline, this version presents the Man of Steel with a more intense and serious tone. The black costume dramatically changes the feel of the statue compared to traditional Superman collectibles. The darker palette creates a more powerful and mysterious atmosphere, while the silver detailing and textured suit surfaces help emphasize the sculpted anatomy and overall realism. The pose remains heroic and composed, but there's a heavier emotional weight to this interpretation. Instead of bright optimism, the statue focuses more on determination and raw power. The flowing cape and strong stance reinforce that sense of controlled intensity. This piece stands apart because it highlights one of the most visually striking alternate looks in Superman history. The darker design gives the character a completely different energy while still preserving the iconic Superman silhouette. Last up is the Superman Fortress of Solitude on Throne Ultimate Bonus version from Prime 1 Studio, scheduled for release in 2027. This massive display goes far beyond a traditional Superman statue and feels more like a full-scale Kryptonian environment brought into collectible form. Instead of placing Superman in an action pose, the statue presents him seated within the Fortress of Solitude, surrounded by enormous crystalline structures and highly detailed environmental sculpting. The throne-like setup gives Superman a regal and almost mythological presence. The scale and environmental detail are some of the biggest highlights here. Every section of the display is layered with textures, glowing crystalline elements, and sculpted architecture that help recreate the atmosphere of Superman's iconic sanctuary. The calmer pose also helps emphasize Superman's role as both protector of Earth and the last son of Krypton. This collectible feels designed as a true centerpiece display. Between the enormous scale, immersive environment, and commanding presentation, it captures Superman in a way that feels epic, cinematic, and deeply connected to his larger mythology. That's a look at some incredible Superman statues and busts, ranging from classic comic book interpretations to cinematic and larger-than-life collectible centerpieces. Each piece captures a different side of the Man of Steel, from hope and heroism to power and legacy. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which Superman statue was your favorite. Also check out the links below and visit comicbookstatuesandbusts.com for even more collectible coverage and statue galleries.